It is a pleasure to be here. I was told that what you were really interested in hearing was sort of our Southwest customer focus. And since that's my passion, and has been my passion really all my life, customer service, I don't really have any notes, and I much prefer an interactive conversation. So you will not throw me by interrupting me with a hand. I tend to babble. That's my Irish want, so feel free to interrupt at any time. But I thought I would tell you that the way that Southwest started out was we saw that there was nobody in the state of Texas, there was no one paying attention to the short haul traveler. And we saw the examples of PSA and AirCal in California and thought that if two carriers could be successful in the state of California in terms of making money and carrying short-haul traffic, certainly the state of Texas. Now, I'm not from there, so I can make a lot of sarcastic comments about Texans thinking that they're bigger and better and brighter than everybody else, and they thought for sure that if California could support two carriers, Texas could support one short-haul carrier. And although there were 3 carriers at the time that were based in Texas, their concentration was really on the big dollar ticket. So they might have carried a customer from point A to point B in Dallas to Houston or whatever, but they were really going after them for the big dollar ticket on to longer haul flights and international flights. So we saw a niche and we saw a need because the prices were way, the ticket prices were way overpriced, and there was no customer service being delivered. So we decided that we would set out to be the best short haul, point-to-point, non-interlining, low-fare carrier, and that we started out just wanting to be an intrastate carrier because we did not want to go through all the bureaucracy of having to report to the Civil Aeronautics Board at the time. So we developed our game plan, decided we were going to do it, and we then pursued about 3.5 years of litigation because the big bad guys, as I like to call them back then, the legacy carriers, were very arrogant and very bold, and they saw no need for our service, and so they fought us every inch of the way. And we literally were in the courts for 3.5 years after receiving our certificate of public convenience and necessity. And I tell you all of that only to say this. I believe that began the formation of Southwest Airlines culture, because for 3.5 years we had forced upon us battles that if we were not very competitive, if we were not if we didn't believe in what we were doing, which we did, we believed in Southwest with a passion. We believed that we could and should be able to open the skies of America for everybody but Texans at the time, and we thought that we had the right to make the people in Texas at least realize that flying was just not for the elite. If you stop and think about it, when you go back to the late 60s, really flying was for people that had a lot of money. And it was mainly, lots of women will find this hard to believe today, but it was mainly businessmen that were traveling. It was not women. There weren't a lot of business women flying, and when women did fly, it was mostly personal. So we saw a niche there, and we fought for what we believed in. And the more that they